of this ride is to remind myself why I fell in love with riding a road bike to begin with. I'm not really so conscious talking to it. Good afternoon. Welcome to another ultracycling related video. If you watched any previous ones, thanks a lot for coming back. If this is your first visit, my name's Andy. I'm an ultracyclist on the south coast of England. The videos I make are about ultracycling, training and adventures. I'm currently documenting my training for the transcontinental race. So if you have endurance goals of your own, subscribe, follow along. I'm sure there'll be something in there for you, or hopefully you'll teach me something. On the cards for today, I'm still recuperating, so I'm going to take it a little bit easy once again. So yeah, a shorter ride than I'd like to be doing, truth be told, but in true Andy fashion, it's still a very particular, structured ride, and one that everybody should be factoring into their training plans, really. The reason I love ultracycling so much, I just love riding my bike, and I love riding it all day. You can't do that every day. You just bury yourself. Exactly what I've done recently. Somehow I just fell out of routine and didn't factor in rest as much as I should have. But this ride, I generally do every 4 weeks in lieu of a long one to recuperate. I'll go through what it is in a minute, but it's really easy. And when I said structured, the structure is that there's very little structure. It is an absolutely stunning day. This is where I was last week, in the horrendous wind, next to an airfield, obviously. What a difference a week makes. As always, hopefully you're all well, looking after yourselves. I'm quite lucky that on the south coast, if I stay by the coast, it's pretty flat. As soon as I turn north into the South Downs, I got some hills and slightly more tricky terrain. So on weeks like this week where I need a bit of a rest, it's ideal. Lovely stretch of road. It's beautiful today. So I mentioned earlier, this is a very specific, restful ride. It's one that I usually do every 4 weeks. But for whatever reason, over the last few months, just haven't done it as often as I should have. I call it a soul ride, personally, because I'm charging my batteries, topping up my soul, reminding myself why I love riding my bike. Usually this would come at the end of my rest weeks. So take it easy through the week, and then one shortish ride, much shorter than I normally do, taking it as easy as possible. And as I mentioned, there's some structure. That's only to make sure it's a really restorative ride. One of the warning signs of overtraining and just pushing a bit too much, being fatigued, for me, start to feel like I don't want to be on the bike that much. But luckily, I'm always ready for that one, because I know for a fact I love doing this. So it's never right. So the purpose of this ride is to remind myself why I fell in love with riding a road bike to begin with. Not necessarily cycling full stop. For most people, it's probably a long time ago. I started riding a road bike 6 years ago, something like that. And what made me really fall in love with riding bikes is the freedom to explore. Exploring my local area, the town I grew up in, covering lots of distance, with relatively little effort. For me personally, that's what I'm trying to get back on these rides. Just go out for a spin, roads that I know really well. My Garmin's turned off, so I'm not following any numbers. Don't know the time of the day, watts, average speed. Average speed's a big one. I get asked quite often about average speed. It really is irrelevant. Legs wise, I don't want my legs to feel tired at all. I don't want them to feel taxed. If I feel like they're getting a bit tight or sore in the slightest, then it's getting towards the end of the ride. Breathing wise, my breathing's even slightly elevated, really. It's too much. You need to really rest. Take it easy. Get some food, get some coffee, just enjoy myself. I'm sure people watching this probably factor in rest rides, rest weeks to some extent. We can be so busy, pushing on with training plans, that you don't necessarily rest as much as you should. So take it from me, go out for a soul ride. Think about why you started riding your bike to begin with, why you love it. That's probably slightly different for everybody. But if you can go out, take it easy, recapture a bit of the sparkle from when you first really loved riding your road bike, it's a really valuable session. Once I get to the end of this ride, battery's recharged, hopefully I'll be ready to go again next week. Feeling much better now, actually. I've been prioritising calories this week and rest. I went out for dinner yesterday and had 8 courses, so that was nice. Lots of food, lots of rest, very little work. Thursday was the first time midweek I haven't trained on a Thursday for about as long as I can remember. So taking one session off completely, hopefully, gonna make me feel much better. Soul Ride does sound really cheesy. I just had it stuck in my head one time, the song 70s or 80s, Soul Ride, take it easy. And that's what I was thinking at the time, that's what I had in my head. That was the goal of the ride and kind of seemed to fit. So far so good. The roads down here, not the most scenic, not the quietest either. Most importantly, they are flat. Now I'm gonna continue that restorative theme, go meet my mate Rob, some more of those calories I mentioned, and cruise along the beach. Rob kinda appeared on this a long time ago, very briefly. I'll have to introduce him at some point. He's one of my best mates, and we meet every week to go for a spin, take it easy, have a cafe stop and just catch up. Known each other for about 3 decades, so he's a good mate. Never been there. say mission accomplished there. Any ride you feel better at the end than you did at the start is a win in my book, and I didn't get rained on. So I'm off for my trademark hot bath now. Hope you have a good week, and I'll see you on the next one.